నమస్కారం. డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ సార్వత్రిక విశ్వవిద్యాలయం విద్యార్థులకు స్వాగతం. ఈ ప్రసారంలో
Hello viewers, social marketing is a topic which we are going to discuss today. Professor M. Anil Ramesh, Director Academic of Sivasibani Institute of Management, is here with us today in our studios to enlighten us about social marketing. Thank you, Anil, for sparing your valuable time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, this session is more useful for MBA students, particularly for those who are doing MBA with marketing specialization. Today, Professor Anil is going to explain us what is social marketing, what is the difference between marketing and social marketing, what is the difference between social marketing and social media marketing, and to what extent the 4 P's of marketing are applicable to social marketing, and how to organize social marketing campaigns and other issues relating to this concept. So, shall we start our discussion?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you. So, my very first question is what is marketing?
Yeah, marketing is one of the core elements that is very important for the management. If you were to look at the 4 quarters of management, that is finance, HR, marketing and production. So, usually students of MBA have this doubt that why should we take up marketing, because there are a lot of products, and why should we be asked to market because the products could be sold by itself. That is actually a very narrow way of looking at things. Okay. Marketing can be defined as the analysis, planning, implementation and control of activities designed to create, develop and maintain mutually beneficial relation with customers to achieve organizational objectives, in a way that marketing is not an activity something like a magic or something. We have to identify a precise need and offer a product that will satisfy the customer, in a way that marketing actually enhances our quality of life. It makes our life enjoyable and more easy also. For example, if you take a mobile phone, there could be a lot of negative aspects, but we cannot deny that mobile phones also helped us a lot. For example, you are going on the city, you can get traffic updates, and in fact it will tell you which route to take. So that way the marketing of mobile phones has made the life easier.
And nowadays the importance of marketing is really increasing a lot. Why? What are the reasons?
There are 2 reasons, madam. One, with the increasing salaries and more disposable and discretionary income, people have lot of better salaries, and with lot of better salaries now there is a demand for products also. It is not undeniable that lot of excessive usage of product also has come through. For example, if we were to look in the last 1 week and the next 2-3 days, we are being bombarded by messages. Saying, I will not take the names, but there are a lot of promotion saying that it is Dasara time, it is Diwali time. So definitely there is lot of negatives about marketing also, that is making us procure products that we don't need, and there is a lot of excessive consumption. For example, there are a lot of people are having 3 cell phones and 4 cars. So there is a definite a feeling of deja vu, especially among management students. When we ask them to pick up marketing job, they say that we are reading so much of marketing, and why is that we have to sell a product which are not very useful, like maybe noodles or biscuits or something. So there are a lot of management pundits who feel that we need to relook at marketing in a different way. Are we being very narrow minded and only trying to think of satisfaction from the customer side and profits from the manufacturer side? Yeah.
But there should be a lot of change actually, and because marketing has to be viewed from a different angle.
Correct.
And it's not just the customer satisfaction, it is beyond customer satisfaction.
First it was said by Philip Kotler and Anderson, and this concept came about in the year 1975, madam. It started in the US, which is the mecca of mass spending and marketing, saying that if marketing is so great, if marketing can persuade me to buy and use products which I don't like or I don't need immediately, can it be used for a better purpose?
Okay.
So can it be used for the betterment of the society? That is how the concept came about.
So this social marketing concept. Will you please explain the importance of social marketing?
Correct, madam. The importance of social marketing is that the differences, like we are saying, between marketing and social marketing is that both of them are almost the same, except that in marketing we are looking at only 2 people, that is the the manufacturer and the customer. And in social marketing we have the society also. Now there is a triad. Earlier it was only a direct relationship, one to one. Now we have the society also. So the whole entire concept is we make products, we sell products, and we use this marketing concept to solve the problems. If you were to look at even in marketing, it is about changing of behavior.
Okay.
The same change of behavior comes in social marketing also.
Okay.
So let us take the general consumers or the general public are involved in some activity which is against the society. For example, I'll take the example of people driving vehicles without helmets or with seat belts.
Okay.
That is one behavior we want to change.
Yes.
Similarly, in marketing also it's about behavior change only. For example, a person like me who is wearing a regular shirt and a trouser. Marketers like jeans manufacturer trying to tell me that by wearing jeans you can feel much more comfortable. Right. So both marketing and social marketing are trying to change behaviors.
Okay. There is another concept, Anil, social media marketing.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between social marketing and social media marketing?
Very nice question, madam, because lot of students are getting confused, my regular students also, they feel that both of them are same. So when we ask a question for one, they'll write the answers for the next. Social marketing is about how do we take the benefits of marketing to solve social problems, whereas social media marketing is a field that is coming up like anything, where people voluntarily form media of their own, which is not controlled by any one central producer. So the consumers of the media are also the producer of the media, which means something like your Facebook, something like your Twitter, something like your YouTube, or something like these are platforms created and maintained by the consumers themselves. There is lot of virality, and one advantage is when we are doing social marketing, we can use the vehicles of social media marketing, and there is a very good synergy, madam. I think your question was perfect in a sense that people whom we want to influence behavior, they get more affected by the social media vehicles. That is where I think the most impact is coming.
Okay.
There is definitely a difference between social marketing and social media marketing.
But both of them actually they can influence.
They can influence each other.
Okay, what are the issues involved in this social marketing?
The issues that are involved in social marketing, madam. First of all, we have to identify what is the behavior that we want to change. For example, just now we are talking about not wearing a seat belt. So then we need to understand as why it should change. Is it a minor behavior? For example, if a person is driving with windows down, maybe it is a behavior that is not very ideal, but it is not life threatening. So as a social marketer, I have to understand what is the behavior, why should it change, and a lot of us, including you and me, madam, and all the viewers also, we have a resistance to change, especially when somebody says to change, the immediate reaction is I will not change.
That's what I am going to add, because unless actually the other party get convinced, okay, there is a requirement, need for change.
Very true, madam. Social marketing, the most important stakeholder is the user himself, and even in marketing nobody can compel me to buy a product. Yes. Same is the case in social marketing also, that nobody can compel. The change has to come within the the user himself. For example, we have seen a very successful campaign of polio eradication. It became successful because the stakeholders at the bottom of the society, those the poorest of the poor and the slum dwellers, they understood that polio is something that has to be eradicated, and once we could convince them, I think it was very successful. And then we can reduce the barriers to change. For example, we can take anti-smoking campaigns that are run frequently. If in fact there is we can say there is a continuum, madam. For example, there are people who don't want to change, some people who let's say who know the difficulties of smoking or the cancer that is going to cause, and then once they understand that they need to stop smoking, we need to reduce those barriers for change, because especially an habit becomes very difficult to stop. So those barriers have to be changed, and create a medium where it becomes easier to change. And just like in regular marketing, we need to pre-test our campaign, whatever campaign that we want to run, and then publicize benefits of change. For example, there could be any smoker, if you were doing an anti-smoking campaign, would say, why should I change? I am normal, I am around 40, 45, I am not going to die. So maybe our social marketing campaign has to say that every cigarette that you are smoking cuts off 6 minutes of your life. So that is definitely frightening. But then it is not only about frightening, we want him to stop. Let us take, he will come and say through our social campaign saying that suppose I stop, what is going to happen? Then we have to say that once you stop, your life expectancy is going to increase. So it is not only about a deterrent, it is about the changing of behavior, and he has to believe it. The people have to understand what are the benefits of the change, and then once they accept it, I think it will be smooth. And obviously, like any marketing campaign, we need to see the control mechanism also. We need to set targets. For example, let us take in one particular population, we wanted 40% of the smokers to reduce smoking for instance, and then ultimately stop. So we will also have to see whether the results that we tried to achieve were achieved or not.
It may not give us the immediate result, because actually changing behavior is not easy.
Correct.
So it is a long term process. Correct. But it will actually, that will make the customer or individual to think, to brood over it, and then change gradually.
Again, I think it's a wonderful question, because there are two ways of it, madam. Yeah. One is there is a study which says that some of these attitudes take lot of time to change. Yeah. For example, it can take 20 years or 30 years, but some of them can be done very fast also. One of the most successful social marketing campaigns that India has done, which has become a world case study, is polio eradication, because India and World Health Organization has taken it as a challenge that the second most popular, a country with most population has got the polio, and we could say within a matter of 10-15 years, polio has completely been eradicated. And it is a big success of the social marketing campaigns that were done.
Yes. Anil, actually we all know that the entire marketing depends mainly on 4 P's, the product, place, price and promotion. These concepts, are they applicable to what is social marketing also?
Yes, madam. The same 4P concept is also applicable for the social marketing, where the product becomes the change of behavior.
Okay.
There we are saying it's a tangible thing you buy and use. Here we are focused about what is not the ideal behavior and how it should change. So that becomes a product, and the price becomes the resistance to change or the time and effort. So people have to spend time, they have to spend effort and even money also. For example, if a smoker has to stop smoking, he will incur time, effort, resistance to change, and also the cost that is involved. Maybe he'll have to go to a counseling center or a rehab center. The place is the same again, madam. Suppose there is a smoker who wants to go and change his behavior. Where should he go? So that becomes the place of the distribution, and promotion automatically comes in. There is a big myth that promotion is only for commercial products and not for social marketing. This has been proved completely wrong, where a lot of promotion can be done by very low cost models. For example, word of mouth can be generated, and like the polio eradication campaign has shown that we can get results of reaching 40 crore children. And that's a mind boggling figure, madam. Every once in 2-3 months 40 crore children are being reached, and with a success rate of 97-98%. And please understand, in India with so much of poverty, with so much of migration, with so much of illiteracy also we could achieve. So once we have a focus, it is possible that we can run very successful campaign at a very minimal cost. If you take and this have got a social cost also, madam. For example, if you look at the polio eradication campaign, if you were to look in numbers wise, it might look very, very costly. But that is what is social marketing, that we don't look at the immediate cost, we are looking at the benefits that will accrue to the generation of youngsters without polio.
Okay.
The government of India is also supporting such campaigns.
Yeah, there is sort of support. Normally we see even in movies and everything also, we are seeing so many advertisements on the social marketing. So you said that campaigns need to be organized for the social marketing. Correct. How do you manage these campaigns, social media, social marketing campaigns?
What happens, madam? First of all, the marketers would try to identify what is the problem. The problem being what is that behavior that we need to change, and then like any other research that MBA students do, we need to identify what is objective and then write out the problem. Usually what happens is, if you were to define the problem in very generic terms, it is not going to happen. So what happens is, even in the polio eradication campaign that we are talking about, entire India was not initially taken up. they have studied and understood that Bihar and UP, because of the density of population, they first picked up Bihar and then UP, and then try to go down to the next level, and then try to fix up the targets just like in any other. And then once the targets are fixed up, then we have to look at the financial outlay. Obviously, the financial outlay is how much of money that is going to cost, and once the financial outlay comes, who are going to be the implementers? Especially in a social marketing campaign, the stakeholders are many. For example, it could be voluntary organization, it could be Anganwadi workers, it could be state government, it could be politicians. In fact, I would say that the difference between marketing and social marketing is at the level of operation. For example, everybody gets involved, politicians. For example, the most interesting part about the social marketing campaign was when the polio vaccines were being given, there were two rumors that were spread by some mischief mongers saying that if polio vaccines are given, the children will become impotent. As that was a huge thing. Interestingly, it was also tackled very nicely, madam. It happened that one particular religious community came out with this particular objection, saying that if you give polio vaccines, our children will become impotent. And then what the campaign managers did was, they brought the religious leaders of that particular religion, who went down and said that it is not like that, it is for the goodness of the society and there is no religious angle to it. So, religious leaders got involved, Gram Panchayat level leaders get involved. It is something that all marketers should definitely reach out for. For example, even if we were to look in Hyderabad, we have lot of social problems. For example, recently we had heavy rains, and then it has inundated the entire city. So, their marketers can again come up and try to solve problems like this, and within 6 months again we will have water shortage. That is another problem. That is, how do we conserve water? I think state governments should also take up, and maybe even have management professionals come up and do their work, because just by policy it is not going to happen. We will have to make people come and join the movement.
So, people from different angles.
Different
they have to be involved. That's why actually I think while explaining one of my earlier questions, like what is the difference between marketing and social marketing, you said that so many people will be involved in social marketing. So,
and it could be mind boggling, madam. When I was preparing, thanks to B.R. Ambedkar who gave me this chance, I was shocked at the amount of people that are involved. I am told that at one time there are 14 lakh people on the field trying to do this vaccination, and they came from all sections of societies, including the older children, who also became part of the campaign.
I think NGOs also can play a major role in this social marketing.
NGOs play a very large role, madam. In fact, most of the corporate companies are also trying to come up and say this is a part of our corporate social responsibility.
Corporate social responsibility. Actually, I am going to ask you to what extent actually the corporates are fulfilling this responsibility.
Correct, madam. We can take two very major examples. One was the campaign of Aircel, which said save the tigers. So, a lot of people came around and criticized that the tiger is a very fancy animal and you are only trying to get a lot of publicity by trying to say that save the tiger. But a lot of social scientists say that tiger is only the indication of what could happen. For example, if the tiger were to disappear, all of us will disappear. So, that was a very beautiful campaign, and one of the most brilliant campaigns that was done by another private giant, which said that Jagore is wake up India, because a lot of Indians are now become very cynical. We don't go out and vote, and we also only keep on shouting, and we don't go and actually vote. So, Jagero campaign, which was done by a company that markets, in fact, it is a brilliant marriage between the product and the campaign. So, Jagore is talking about India that is sleeping, and the product, the company that advertised it is a company that is making tea, which makes us come out of slumber. So, that is a brilliant campaign where they said that if you are real Indian, before you complain about what is wrong with our democracy, please go out and vote. Okay. So, that is a brilliant campaign that was done by a corporate giant.
Okay. So, Anil, what are the stages of a successful marketing, social marketing effort?
The first thing, madam, is that we need to identify the various steps. The various steps could be that, for example, right from the let us take Like you just now said, let us take an NGO goes to the government and says that we want to work on a particular let us say that it is a eradication or let us say this water conservation tables. There where the government or whatever would say that first give us a report or a project report or something where we would try to examine it in various phases. So I think then what the NGO does is once they get permission, this is one thing that the NGO cannot do it by themselves. So that is where professional marketers get involved. And the marketers, this is where the beauty comes, the marketers are going to examine it like a marketing problem only. For them it is just like selling hamburger or potato chips or that is actually good, madam, that when the marketers get involved, they bring in all their professionalism. For example, they would do personal selling, they would do advertising, they will do even sales promotion, they will use public relations, they will use social media, and that is where I think the campaigns will really become successful. Even the polio campaign, in fact we can compare the polio campaign that was done by private advertising agencies with what was tried by the government on its own to promote family planning. So when we try to thrust something on somebody, it might work with train tickets where the government is in a monopoly, but where the customer has got a choice and where there is a choice for the customer, and if he is free to choose, he might not accept us. So it has to be a soft sell. So we will have to tell them that in very ways that by doing this particular thing, you are a good Indian or you are a better father, or it should be a soft and emotional sell. That is where I think the real professionals can do a job better than a governmental agency which only goes by targets.
So involvement of a professionals is required.
Who have got a clear cut idea and an objective, and you will run it like a marketing campaign. That is where the beauty comes, that we use all the techniques that we have learned in marketing and try to solve social problems.
Okay. And really social marketing is quite interesting topic. Will you please just tell very briefly in a capsule form entire discussion what is social marketing and how it is important?
Yeah, social marketing, as a sum up, what I would say is any country including India is facing a lot of problems, and we have terrific marketing brains who are only selling potato chips and cornflakes and hamburgers. So the whole campaign of social marketing is to take the best brains of marketing and make them solve the social problems, so that India can become a giant and can be proudly be called as the most developed country in the world.
Okay, thank you very much, Anil. Thank you.
ఈ కార్యక్రమాలపై మీ అభిప్రాయాల్ని, సూచనల్ని, సలహాల్ని ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం. మా చిరునామా ద డైరెక్టర్, ఆడియో విజువల్ ప్రొడక్షన్ అండ్ రీసెర్చ్ సెంటర్, డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ ఓపెన్ యూనివర్సిటీ, ప్రొఫెసర్ జి రామరెడ్డి మార్క్, రోడ్ నంబర్ 46, జూబ్లీ హిల్స్, హైదరాబాద్ 500033.